trip behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Palm Mash TV time once again. We're glad that you could join us again today. Got a great interview coming up in just a couple minutes, but before we get into that, if you like this episode, obviously hit the subscribe button and click the bell. You're always going to get the latest interviews whenever they become available. And you're always welcome to use our comment section. And, and give us your feedback on what you think. We're on Facebook, so go to facebook.com/PalmMashTV. And feel free to like the page, inbox us, comment everything you see. We would like to hear from you there. And you can use our email, which is palmmashtv, all one word, @gmail.com. And feel free to talk to us if you're a band or solo artist. Or for that matter, if you're just a fan, you can use that same email address. We'd love to hear from you. And feel free to watch Palm Mash TV on Roku channel Smile World TV every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central. And I'm sure you'll like that. And all this will be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. From Malaysia, we have Heerraa, very talented artist, and I think you're going to agree. And we'll get to that interview in just a minute, but before we do that, let's pause for a brief commercial break from Click Jam. Don't go away.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could.
Okay, it's time for the interview, and from Malaysia, we have Heerraa. Thanks for joining us, Heerraa.
Hi, Paul. Thank you so mumuch for having me. I'm super excited for today's interview.
Well, we're glad to have you here today. Why don't we start by the obvious question? How did it all get started for you as far as being an artist? I mean, I'm sure it's an interesting story.
I would love to say that it was because, my household was always full of music and, it was something that I grew up with. But actually, no. How I actually became a singer was something purely accidental. One of the reasons behind me being a singer was actually I was pretty obsessed with the show Hannah Montana. So I was really obsessed with how she had a double life. She was a pop star. And in my head, I was always like, a pop star in my head. So by the time I was like 11, 12, 13, I kept insisting on this idea that my only ambition in my life was to be a singer. So I guess my parents had to do something about it. So I started trying to do performances at my uncle's wedding, so small things that people that I knew. So eventually they sent me for a little bit of vocal classes, and then eventually you see me here today, being a full-time musician from a family of people who don't really listen to music. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're obviously very talented, and I enjoyed hearing a couple of your songs, and I think everybody out there will agree. And that is quite a story. Why don't you tell me, I guess you already told me in a way, but you said Hannah Montana. Were there any other influences that really got you motivated in your songwriting and so forth?
People I really looked up to, which I still really love, is Paramore, Panic at the Disco. But recently, the people that I look up to as performers, because I believe there's many aspects to being a good singer. I'm a bit worried to call myself musician because I feel there's so many more people who are talented than me. So I like to call myself as a performer, as someone who engages the crowd. So people who inspired me to be a performer, so people who have good values as an artist, who care about their fans, who can also write songs and play a couple of instruments. So I really look up to Beyonce, Michael Bublé. I think my all-time favorite also would be Jason Mraz, because he writes some of the best songs that are super down to earth as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and those are good singers, especially Michael Bublé and Beyonce.
Yeah.
You mentioned those are really good ones. I can see how you could be recommended there. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how we can find your music? I know you don't have any physical copies, but if you have any, let us know. But anyway, tell us where you're streamed at, and we'd like to check you out.
Yeah, one day I would love to be signing something off to pass off to my fans. But right now, you can actually find my songs digitally. So you can find me on Spotify under Heerraa. So it's Heerraa fun fact, most people kind of need to spell it right, if not, you can't really find me. You can find it on Spotify, you can find it on YouTube, you can find it on Apple Music and iTunes. I think it's on Amazon and iHeartRadio too. So those are like all the major stores, Deezer, so it'll be there as well.
Okay, well, everybody down get Heerraa's music. I'm sure she'd love you for that. And
yeah, I have a new song out. It was super crazy because I think the song just came out yesterday. So it's been 24 hours and I've been loving people's response. I think even you, Paul, actually listened to the song and I was like super, super honored about it because everybody was saying it's a nice song and it's different than my usual singer-songwriter style. It's still under the pop category, but it's more about a dance kind of EDM kind of feel, more like a Alan Walker kind of feel compared to my usual country folk style.
Yeah, and the name of the song is called Crazy, which is there a story behind that song, by the way?
Oh, yes. One of my, Crazy was actually a song that not only got #1 on Malaysian radio here, it also was #1 for a week in the Indie Rampage radio in the US. So the story behind Crazy was it's actually a song I didn't want to write. It's every time I got into the car, I kept wanting, you know, when you connect your phone to your Bluetooth and you want to play a song. So I kept thinking, I would love to play a song called Crazy. And every time I would search it up, the closest song that I knew existed was the song called Crazier by Taylor Swift. And it's a lovely and beautiful song, but that was not the song that I was looking for. So it didn't happen on one incident. It happened in a couple of incidents where I kept wanting to hear the song Crazy, which didn't exist. So I was ignoring my songwriter instinct for so long, and I finally gave in. I was like, okay, fine, I'll write the song. So I wrote the verse, and I wrote the chorus, and then I left it for a while, and then suddenly, after 2 weeks, the inspiration just suddenly flew, and Crazy just became the song that it is. So how, other than the song coming to me naturally from the universe, I feel Crazy really describes me going mad. Sometimes when you're in relationships with people, whether it's your partner, whether it's your parents, siblings, or friends, as much as it's a crazy good thing, there's many crazy annoying things about them too. And there's many things that can drive you up the wall, can make you feel frustrated. But if you focus on that, then you can't focus on the crazy good times that you're having. So then everything of the good things starts getting replaced. So it's kind of like my message saying, yes, you drive me crazy. I am really annoyed with you, but you'd make me crazy in a good way. So trying to focus on the positives more than the not so positives.
Okay, well, as you said a minute ago, I did enjoy the song, and I know everybody's wanting to see that, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But before we do, I think that's all the time we have for right now, Heerraa. But thank you for being on the show. We'd love to have you back sometime if you ever have anything new to plug for us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paul. This is actually my first interview in the US, so this is something that's super, super honoring and exciting for me. Thank you so much for having me on Paul Mash TV. I hope you guys enjoy Crazy.
Yeah, no problem. We're happy to have you, and come back again sometime. And now here's Heerraa singing Crazy right here on Paul Mash TV, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Even when I sit alone, I think of you, of all the things we do, and I wouldn't ask for more. And when I'm walking down the street, I smile too, I leave, because everything falls perfectly, and I just want you to know. Wherever you are in the space, I will forever long be a sweet embrace. Crazy, crazy, all I've been is crazy, crazy. Even when I feel complete with no words to speak, all that I can say is you make me feel crazy, crazy. All I've been is crazy, crazy. Oh baby, crazy, crazy. All that I can say is you make me feel crazy. When we're driving in your car down the fast lane, I think of a song to play, and I am at a loss for words. 'Cause even though somehow the trees are lying perfectly, I feel like feel crazy.